everyone, this is Leah from grade 12E8, and today I will be talking about the immune system. So, what is immune system? Immune system is the body's defense against infection, and the immune system attacks germs and helps keep us healthy. So, how does the immune system work? When the body senses some foreign substances called the antigen, the immune system works to recognize the antigens and get rid of them. So, for our first question, what type of immune defense are depicted in the different episodes? And what cells are involved in each type, and what are their specific functions? So, for the first episode, the type of immune defense is innate immunity. So, here we have the innate and the adaptive. So, this one, innate immunity. So, the cells involved are the white blood cell, specifically the neutrophil. So, there are different kinds of white blood cells. We have the monocyte, eosinophil, basophil, lymphocytes, and the neutrophil. So, they circulate around the body in the bloodstream, and when they sense signals that an infection is present, they are the first cells to migrate to the site of the infection to begin killing the invading microbes. And so for the episode 10, the type of immune defense is still the innate immunity. And the cells that are involved are monocyte and neutrophil, and as well as the macrophage. So the monocyte is a type of blood cell that fights off bacteria, viruses, and fungi and facilitates healing and repair. And for the neutrophil, this one, they circulate around their body in the bloodstream, and when they sense signals that an infection is present, there are the first cells to migrate to the site of the infection to begin killing and invading microbes. And lastly, for the macrophage, a cell responsible for detecting and destroying pathogens and apoptotic cells. And so for the episode 3, the type of immune defense is the adaptive immunity. So this one. So there are two types of adaptive immunity, and these are the humoral and cell-mediated. So the humoral secrete antibodies that defend against extracellular pathogens, and the cell-mediated defend against infected cells, cancers, and transplant tissues. So the cells that are involved are the naive T cells that respond to novel pathogens that the immune system has not yet encountered. The macrophage is a cell that is responsible for detecting and destroying pathogens and apoptotic cells. The helper T cell, immune cell that coordinates and enhances the activity of all B cells and cytotoxic T cells. The dendritic cell processes antigen material and presents it on the cell surface to the T cells of the immune system. The killer T cell that kills cancer cells, cells that are infected, or cells that are damaged in other ways. The memory T cell lingers after an immune response is complete and launches in a new immune response if the same pathogen is encountered again. The effector T cell, relatively short-lived activated cells that defend the body in an immune response. And lastly, the B cell makes the antibodies against antigens to performs the role of antigen presenting cells and develops into memory B cells after activation by antigen interaction. We have number 2. What did the characters in the anime represent? So I have here the main characters. Platelet, macrophage, considered as the cleaner, monocyte, comprises 7% of the white blood cell, and the naive T cell, it is an immature T cell, white blood cell that kills bacteria, and the red blood cell that carries oxygen and carbon dioxide through the blood vessels. The characters in the anime represent as the cells that are found within the human body, specifically the red blood cell and the other types of leukocytes. So for the number 3, why did it take a while for the immune system to defeat the virus? So it took a while for the system to kill the influenza virus as it proliferated and increased by infecting the other cells. So for the number 4, how do cytotoxic or killer B and T cells differ? So we have here the B cells and the T cells. So as we can see, the B cells attacks invaders outside the cells, and the T cells attacks infected cells. So the distinction between T cells and B cells is that T cells can only recognize viral antigens outside infected cells, while B cells can recognize bacterial and viral antigens on the surfaces. So the T cells directly kills the cells that have already been infected by a foreign invader, while the B cells produce antibodies to specific antigens that they bind to through B cell receptors. So for the last number 5, trace the process of the development of adaptive immunity. So the adaptive immunity is an immunity that arises either from a pathogen or vaccine after exposure to an antigen. And this component of the immune system is triggered when there is an inadequate innate immune response to contain an infection. And the cell-mediated immune response, that is T cells, conduct, and the humoral immune response that is regulated by activated B cells and antibodies. Their attack may destroy pathogens directly or secrete antibodies which enhance pathogens' phagocytosis and disrupt the infection. Adaptive immunity often requires a memory to provide the host with long-term defense from reinfection with the same type of pathogen. Then this memory should promote an effective and rapid response upon re-exposure. So once again, this is Leah Donal from grade 12 E8. Thanks for watching.